Good day, I'm Ikslorin, and let's go back on the ladder with this wonderful dragon deck that I found on the internet. Everything is in the description, obviously. Credits should go always where credit is due. But I have done a few changes to this deck, as also mentioned on Monday's video. Mainly just trying to maximize the amount of Blackrock Mountain cards that we find in here. And except for the Hungry Dragon, I think everything else here should go away, because this is probably not the curve we should try and go for here. Dragonkin Sorcerer, I like that, but we still need a turn 1 or 2 play here. The Villain's Chosen doesn't do anything until we have a minion on the board. So, we probably want to try and see if we can top deck something. Yes, it's 1 mana, but that is not what we were looking for. Well, let's hope he got us just an awful hand as we did. Well, BG did go for the dagger here, but that doesn't tell us that much. That is pretty much the turn 2 for every rogue, except for the really aggressive mech rogues. But those aren't really that common, so that doesn't help us that much, that information that he's nothing else but that. But that maybe show us something. That he actually just goes for another knife here. He has nothing to do on top of this. So I would probably just want to go for this, so that we can buff it next turn to immense size. I won't expect him to try and kill it, or be able to kill it this turn. He could sap it, but that won't do much. And comboing and eviscerate is not really the most interesting thing. A sabotage, cool, but that means we just remove the sabotage for anything later, so this, even though I would probably rather have wanted it to be in the other way around, it's fine. And while Pyromancer powered shield next turn, deal with this. Wonderful. Yeah, we actually got pretty well, got a pretty easily away with actually having such a bad hand in the beginning. We actually got to turn 5 without taking any damage to speak of. Yes, 1 damage from the knife, but nah, that doesn't really count. Oh, Assassin's Blade. Now this is maybe more of a problem. Yeah, we probably should. Yeah, I still would go for this play. Maybe not. So if we go for this and heal and go for a Blackwing Technician, yes, that is beefier minions. And we should probably wait for this until we have something that we really want to kill off. If he has some more minions to kill, or if we want to trade and don't have the extra damage. So that is probably for the better for later. So an Assured Wake probably next turn. Shift. Interesting. So this is some kind of miracle-y thing. Also something that I did expect. Some kind of oil rogue. Interesting. I wouldn't expect him to play the South Sea deckhand. Except if he gangs it up. Okay. Cool. Gang up on this. So it's some kind of control-y thing. Okay, I like it. I like it. So if we go in here, probably this is probably for the better. Heal this or this. Probably better this way. So he cannot eviscerate anything here. This Sludge Belcher should stop some aggression from him. So that is something I'm more than fine with. Another South Sea deckhand, so probably the oil now. Yes. So this is going to hurt actually not that much, because his South Sea deckhand cannot get through in any way. And the fact that we went with the shield onto the Hungry Dragon and not onto the Sludge Belcher could actually have been better. Except for that. Okay, that was bad, but we still have this combo for later, so that is good. Except for the fact that he didn't hit me, did he? Oh, because it doesn't have charge anymore. Okay. Yes, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And heal ourselves so that we can get out of this mess that we are in. He already has used one oil, so we probably won't see the next one in the near future, though we are probably going to see the South Sea Deckhand again. Because he has probably one or two of them in there, and he probably also has... yeah, he probably has one or two in the deck, and then also he has all of those from the gang up. And Deadly Poison, okay, this Wild Pyromancer has actually done quite a lot of work taking the shift, taking one from this one, one charge from this. I like it. Heal ourselves. This looks pretty cool. Nefarian would probably also mean that we would get a lot of card draw. The most of the rogue stuff is tempo focused, so that is probably going to be pretty cool whatever we would get from the Nefarian here. Oh, Blackwing. Oh, Black Knight, not Blackwing. That's a little bit irritating. And we cannot even Shadow Word Death it in any way. Ah, well. This will at least help us in some ways. That won't help us that much. So, yeah, I'm just going to try and heal myself each and every time. I don't really want to do anything else. We could also go for a Velen's Chosen. Yeah, we should probably have gone for a Velen's Chosen on the Assured Wake so that we were certain that the Blackwing Knight would be trading out. Queenskin, interesting. Is that lethal? I don't think so, but it's damn close. It's actually near impossible to get back from this, if even possible in any way. Yeah, I think it is fine. Okay, so we just have to play this correctly. Well, we can kill with the Shadow Word Death the Captain Greenskin. We can trade this way around. How did I want to kill the South Sea Deckhand? There was in some way that I thought of.
I wonder.
I had something in mind before this. I don't. So I probably have to keep the Shadow Word Death for this instead. Villains chosen on this to trade this way. Okay, yeah. That sounds good. Okay, and we still have enough mana to both heal this way and destroy the weapon. So we still have 1 HP, so he should just not have another shift. Ah, he doesn't have anyone. So he just does... Oh, yeah, wait a minute, he has the knife, so I'm dead. That was that one thing that I forgot, but... There was some... I thought there was some other way for me to kill the South Sea Deckhand. For some reason I still thought that I had the Pyromancer in hand, meaning that I would be able to kill it, so I could trade with everything, meaning that I would probably have been able to kill, to gain board control and then take everything back. Because I had Nefarian in hand, I had a lot of good stuff in my hand. But it wasn't enough. He played it very well, and I should maybe just have kept my Pyromancer for later. Maybe that is just what I should have done. But then, how would I have wanted to kill the first South Sea Deckhand is the question. Well, this one is going away. We already have a dragon for anything else. Against the Warlock, maybe we should keep it if he is a handlock. We could keep the Shadow Word Death for a Mountain Giant. But I feel like we need some kind of tempo here, so... This is just even worse. Nah, I should have kept it. Okay, thank you. So we have a turn 3 and 4 play. Now we only need a turn 1 and 2. I mean, I'm fine with actually getting something like Northshire Cleric this turn. Okay, so he's a Zulak. But I'm still... Oh, dear. Well, we are on the defensive, if nothing else but than that. Cool. Okay. This should work. We have the Blackwing Technician, should be great value. All of these should also be fine value, and at some point we should be able to go for the Holy Nova. Or, yeah, turn 5 we should be able to go for the Holy Nova, killing everything. But we're probably pretty close to death, pretty close to being dead at that point. But I just have to try, really. See if we can trade this way, heal. Nah. Trade this way, Dragonkin. Yeah, we should not try and see if we can get the most out of the Holy Nova. If we play something with 4 HP or 5 HP, we shouldn't go in there for the Holy Nova in 2 turns. So, because then we would just be dead. We pretty much need to be very lucky. And he trades himself, good and bad. Resurrect won't help me really that much. This would probably do more than anything else. I would not want a 2-4 with the Resurrect, which it would give me. I could go for a 2-4 and then heal myself. Nah, wouldn't really do anything. I think this is okay. He is a Murloc Warlock in some way, so he's very aggressive, nearly a face hunter-ish thing. So, if we can get him to play all of this stuff and not trade away, he should not at least trade away, then we can get a pretty good Holy Nova next turn. I would not expect him to trade in this way. That is not what he should do. He's going to lose a lot of tempo if he does that. Okay, Direwolf Alpha. Interesting placement though. I would probably have placed it in here or something like that. Oh. Well. That's something. Well, I'm just going to kill all of that. That's this... killing 2 Knife Jugglers and 1 Direwolf. That is probably going to be pretty good. We can go for Blackwing Technician and Twilight Whelp. That would be 4 mana. Then heal ourselves. Ascension? This deck makes some sense and no sense at the same time. That is actually really interesting how it does that. Well, heal ourselves. Because if not, then we are probably dead. So Dragonkin next turn and with a powered shield. We could also have done that this turn. Nah. With 2 minions on the board instead of 1 larger minion. That's probably for the better. Though the Dragonkin wouldn't be able to be killed by these 2. Okay. Cool, I think. He's going to buff this one up and we cannot get through. Now we can. Yes, we can. Cool, so if I powered shield on this, this one is still going to be alive, also if after a resurrect has happened. Meaning that I can trade in this way. And there we go, another Dragonkin. Cool. Heal this way up, and finally we have board control. And somewhat the same hand size too. So it wasn't the worst value here. And we have 2 3/4s. And we can actually go with Chromagus next turn, which would probably not be the worst. Especially since we then would have a turn 9 play with these 2. I will stick with that. We could trade in this way, but nah. I would rather want him to just trade himself slowly. Because it would take longer time for him, and I may be able to draw some answer to it so that I can get more value out of these minions here. So I think that is the better choice, to not to have him trying to kill my stuff. Another Sludge Belcher. Okay, so he starts off being very aggressive with Leper Gnomes and Murlocs, but then shifts into Sludge Belchers and Sengens. High value stuff instead of having some kind of... And now also a Drain Life. Okay, this is... Well, we are at rank 19, which is maybe the reason why, but... Well... Hadn't expected this to happen, at least. Let's say it that way. If we go for Villains Chosen on each, maybe? Or... Yeah, let's do this, and Villains Chosen on... The, what triggers first? I'm pretty sure the spell goes off first, and then... This one triggers. Yes, cool. And on the other one too. So they are a little bit bigger. Ah, beautiful. Okay, so the fact that Malor, as we're playing against, doesn't have a deck that seems to be focused around one strategy, being either with the Murlocs being very aggressive or with something like the Sludge Belchers be controlly or mid-rangey. I'm not so certain about the about how useful his deck is, really. Let's draw something else. Okay. Cabal Shadow Priest twice. Cool. So if I go for this, that is obviously a bad thing, but on the other hand, we can Wild Pyromancer for the shield and trade away. Even especially if we heal it first, then it is also alive. Awesome. Yeah. We are actually being able to get immense value out of these things. This Wild Pyromancer and Kumegas has actually been able to do a lot of work here, killing 3 or 4 minions without really dying. Yes, we have a lot of cards on them to trigger it, but also they are still very much just doing a lot of work here. Finally, the Wild Pyromancer is dead, but at that point it is... Oh. Well, I won't say no to a second one. And kill everything else, and go to face. Could also have taken some of them, or taking some of them with the Cabal Shadow Priest, but nah, that's not worth it. Let's just be doing the safer plays, and going for another Shadow Word Pain that is golden. Beautiful. Let's take one extra game in here. We're probably going to run overtime, but on the other hand, we did only go for 18 minutes last time, so let's just try to average around the 20 minutes as always. So cool. So the question is really, who are we going to go up against again? I've just been one... Have I actually lost any games until now? I can't remember any. There was one game when I tried this deck out at first, but except for that, not really. So we have some cool things in here. We just need a dragon. We just need a dragon. Okay, I didn't say that loud enough as it seems. How many cards in here are not dragons? Are we just drawing all of them? Thank you, Nefarian. Early and at exactly at the right time at the same time. Yep, I think that didn't make any sense. But yeah, Nefarian just was drawn when we needed him and when we didn't need him, so that is great. I think I'm just going to heal, keeping the Power Word Shield for later, and just keep on trading favorably and try and heal ourselves probably. Though the Blackwing Technician next turn is probably going to be the better play, especially since we're probably going to see something like a Mad Bomber. Very interesting. Well then, yes, this is certainly a Blackwing Technician. We cannot even heal up for a trade. You what? Okay. I'm just going to trade anyway. That one Hunter's Mark was not needed. I'm not going to mill him, so he doesn't have to try and throw all his cards away, so... Nah. I don't understand that play. He did nothing with this Hunter's Mark. And that is actually really bad, because this Hunter's Mark is actually really good, especially if you want to be mid-range or controlly in some way, even if the Hunter is really awful at that. Can he do more damage to that? I don't think so. You're not going to kill Command. Okay, kill Eaglehorn Bow. Okay, that is at least in some ways acceptable. But I'm just going to heal myself up and then Assure Drake next turn. And he won't be able to kill the Assure Drake because he just wasted his... What was it? I can't even remember the name. You don't see that card that much, but the Hunter's Mark. He just wasted that. He could have used it now or later with something like Nefarian or Assure Drake, but... Yeah, I don't expect really. I expect this game to go pretty well, especially since he has misplayed that much and he looks to be very slow, so... Playing this one, and if he trades, we're just going to be happy. I mean, yes, you can go for a mid-range hunter, but they don't work that well. And this deck surprisingly works surprisingly well, so I am very much looking I'm feeling very safe right now. And he's going for face as it seems and doesn't want to trade. Let's hope that it is a snake trap. It isn't. Okay. Well, then it is an explosive trap for sure. So we can go for a Blackwing Technician. We can heal and also go for a powered shield. Yes, I like this. Then we only need to trigger the explosive trap next turn and then Holy Nova. I don't believe he would go for any trading. He just hit me in the face earlier, so I don't expect him to try and trade this turn instead. Unleash the Hounds, cool. And kill command. Okay, so now he finally has figured out what a hunter actually is trying to do. But he is going to be in a terrible... He's going to have a terrible next turn after he sees what we're going to do now. So an explosive trap. I should actually have done it the other way around, because it could also have been a misdirection. So we... Except for... Yeah, we're just going to go for this and heal ourselves. We were actually already going all the way down to 12. I didn't actually not see that, but... We did not die. And he conceded. Cool. Well, I didn't expect this game to go this fast, but... Oh well. This is the end of this segment. We're going to cut it off here until Friday, so... Yeah, this deck is just doing wonders. One game, one after the other. Thank you for watching. See you.